She was number 4 all time in the pentathlon and second outdoor in heptathlon. But the most impressive thing about Anna Hall was the double. And by the double, I mean she did the 8th event because she did 7 in heptathlon and then NCAA outdoors. She qualifies in the 400 hurdles. And she doesn't just run the 400 hurdles. She got second in the 400 hurdles. And she got second to Britton Wilson. And Britton Wilson was damn good this year. Britton Wilson went on to run in the World Championships. So Anna Hall had an incredible season, just showed the depth and breadth of her talent, put up some all-time marks, but the range is what impressed me the most with her.
Yeah. I will say, as great as double was, it would have been so much better if it was an actual winning double, right? Because she did get second to an all-time one of the best.
But who even attempts the double when you do the multi-events? That's what's so cool about it. Who even could qualify, and then who even can do it
hold on.
in the heat of competition? That's pretty cool.
You can't say, though, participation is...
She got second. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
To a world-class, what was Britton Wilson this year?
Yeah, Britton's like...
Top 4 in the world this year?
She's like one of the best, not named Sydney.
Yeah. Which is a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That you just described most people walking around Earth.
I mean, Britton Wilson, I think you could argue could even be one of the nominees when you see her SEC, where she won the 4x.
You called it the greatest hour of track and field
ever. Yes.
Britton Wilson and SEC.
Stand by that. That would be the name of one of my awards. Greatest Hour Award. But not that I'm not using it as a way to criticize her achievement, because what she did was amazing. I'm just saying it would have been even greater if it had like 2 wins as opposed to a win. It just gets a little nullified when when you're bragging about a second place, because all the other athletes are going to have a lot of more cleaner resumes where it's like win, win, win. Again, Anna Hall does have a clean resume because in her actual event, it was a win in the pent.
I would agree with you if it was a traditional double, a 1 and a 2, a 5,000 and a 10,000.
Sure, okay.
But she went and did a heptathlon.
And then a 400 hurdle.
And not just any other event. The event that most people consider the hardest in all of track and field.
And it was an event that if she doesn't do, they don't win the team title.
Exactly. So that's the case for Anna Hall. Cameron Rogers. Pure dominance from Cameron Rogers. I mean, look at this. Collegiate record outdoor in the hammer throw. But she had 8 top 10 throws this year. 8?
8.
You look at the all-time hammer throw list for the women, it's basically Cameron Rogers. Cameron Rogers, Cameron Rogers, Cameron Rogers, over and over and over again. I know we're not supposed to consider what they did at the World Championships. Hall medaled. Cameron Rogers also medaled for Canada. But just complete and utter historical dominance.
Yeah. The one, not negative, but like her indoor season is not as...
Not the same event.
Not the same event.
It's weight throw versus hammer throw.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And she got, 3rd in indoors in the weight throw?
She got, let's see, scroll down. Yep, 3rd.
Yeah, 3rd. So that might hurt her eligibility, because that's the thing, is you're going to have but like I say, because Abby Steiner also has a couple non-wins.
Yeah.
So none of them were perfect. So you can take away the need to be perfect to win. But Cameron Rogers, it's more about the depth and the fact that she not just won and broke a record, but you look at the all-time list, it just says Rogers.
8 in the top 10.
8 out of 10.
That's crazy.
And she probably had 1 or 2 of the others from a previous season.
When there was a lot of discussion when the nominees got announced, some people were mad that certain people weren't on the list. And I said at the time, okay, if you're going to say that, who are you taking off? And if your answer is we'll take off Cameron Rogers, I'm saying you might as well just say hammer throwers aren't eligible then.
Yeah.
If you're not going to include someone who had this season, you might as well say we're just not counting that
event. If this doesn't count, then it'll never count.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, 8
out of 10.
8 out of 10. Next up, Abby Steiner. Collegiate record indoors, collegiate record outdoors. Obviously did amazing relay duty for the Wildcats. She ended the year with the 2nd fastest time in the 200 outdoors. That's hard to do.
In the world,
although that came at USA's, not in the collegiate season. But I'm just speaking to how good she was throughout the entirety
she won
of track season.
3 titles and 4 records. She also has the indoor 300 record,
which
everyone is clamoring about.
So Gordon's favorite indoor records, it goes 500, 300, 600 in that order. Then maybe the 1,000.
Yeah, I guess 600-yard one.
She has some losses again, but those are coming in shorter events, right? Like in the 60, she did lose to Favor O'Feely once
SECs.
in the 200.
Yeah.
So if you need to
She
split
also
hairs
probably
and
lost
things
her
of
in the
this.
100 too then.
Yeah. I mean, the 100, I don't really count.
She wasn't really 100, yeah.
Yeah. In the same way, I'm not going to count. Well, we talked about Anna Hall, like not counting the 400 hurdles, but you do count it because she made the meet and got second. So I think that's the case for Steiner. What do you think? Who's your pick?
So who's my pick?
Yeah.
Or who do I think is going to win?
Who's your pick?
Things.
Who's your pick?
My pick. So for me to like keep up with my I should pick Abby Steiner because I was all in on Abby Steiner all year. It would be kind of weird for
you
me to
probably
be like,
picked her in June, and then nothing should have influenced your vote from now to then because the results don't count, and then now you're going to change it in the next month.
I mean, I personally would pick Abby Steiner.
Okay.
I think she was more dominant in a more participated event. I think the competition level is a little bit higher in the sprints than it is in the hammer and in.
You're talking about globally, if you compare it globally.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's going up against, I just think they're excelling in. Not all events are equal. Like they don't have all the same amount of depth of talent. And I think if you excel in one of the more marquee events, that should have a little bit of a weight to it.
Although that is sort of countered by the fact, I know we can't count what happened at Worlds, but Rogers went on to get silver.
Yeah. Again, do you think silver in the hammer is the same as silver in the 100?
Well, I'm saying, are you comparing NCAA level of competition to the world? Because winning the men's 1500 at NCAA is not the same as winning the men's 100, right? Because the men's 100 is better at the NCAA level relative to the world than the men's 1500 is, right? We'd all agree on that.
Abby Steiner ran the second fastest time in the world.
Yeah.
To me, that's kind of similar to getting second at Worlds.
Yeah, no.
It's harder to, it's harder to maintain peak sprint fitness all the way through August or July, whenever the championship was, than it is to maintain peak throwing. Like,
what about heptathleting?
Yeah. I mean, just the amount of, it's just like.
Okay, so you're going with Steiner.
I'm going with Steiner, who I think is going to win, Anna Hall.
Okay.
Because of the double.
I went with Anna Hall early. Nothing has changed my mind because there's nothing allowed to change my mind because we don't count any of those results, although the fact that she medaled at Worlds.
All three of them medaled.
Yeah. Steiner in the relay.
Steiner got 2 medals.
Yeah, in the relays, which I know there's no heptathlon relay, there's no hammer throw relay, but it shows you the level of respect that Team USA had to put a rookie in the 4x1 and in the 4x4. They knew how good she was. They're all great. Not going to bore anybody.
That's the thing. Like, again, I think all three any other year would win.
Yeah, the same thing as
like Cameron Rogers being third here. I think she would win pretty much 9 out of the past 10 years.
Yeah, I would say Hall just did something unique.
Yes, and that's why I think she's going to win.
And I think that's the tiebreaker for me here because, again, you got different cases being made depending what you emphasize. But I think we might see a season like the other two later on. It's going to be hard. I just don't think we're going to see someone like Hall do that again.
Anna Hall was told to do something extraordinary, and the extra and extraordinary was a 400-meter hurdle.
I don't know what to do with that.